Hey stars, it's me, Shot Star, and welcome back. I hope you guys are having a great day. Um, I want to start this video off with um, sending my condolences to Nikki Giovanni's family. Um, as many of you may know, at today at this time, that Miss Nikki Giovanni, who has been called the Princess of Black Poetry. She passed away at age 81. Um, I, I don't know anybody that doesn't know who Nikki Giovanni is, but just in case, poet and civil rights activist Nikki Giovanni, a prominent figure during the Black arts movement in the 1960s and the 1970s, who was dubbed the Princess of Black Poetry, has passed away at age 81. Giovanni passed away peacefully Monday with her partner, Virginia Jenny Flower, by her side. Her friend and author, Renee Watson, said Tuesday in a statement to the Times she had recently been diagnosed with cancer for the third time. So again, rest in peace and sending our condolences to Nikki Giovanni's family and fans. And next, we're going to go into this Jamie Foxx, okay? Now, we've been talking about the special that he has on Netflix that, that he was putting out, which actually came out on yesterday, on Tuesday. And everybody was saying, because he had stated in a statement before or whatever that Puffy was the reason he had whatever had happened to him, and he was hospitalized and allegedly we were told that he was in a coma and things of the sort. So Jamie Foxx on his Netflix, of course, like I kind of thought, and I think I said it before, comedians are going to be comedians. And comedians meaning him doing that, and because Puffy is going through whatever he's going through at the time, and him being friends with Puffy, because we've seen them together a million times, you know what I mean? So you can't deny that you guys were friends and hung out. So nevertheless, he used that as a punchline to bring more views in for his special. So we all thought, or so he thought, we all thought that he was going to tell this story that no one has ever heard, and how Puffy drugged him and caused him to have a stroke, which put him into the hospital, which had him in a coma for 20 days. So it was all, he was pretty much blowing smoke and again promoting. And that's what comedians do. That's what everyone does. But a comedian is going to make fun of whatever's going on currently. And that's what he did. Okay, so I actually watched the first 20 minutes of the special. And so honestly, you know how most places, like when they put a punchline or something out for a story, and when they drop their special, everyone tunes in to hear this particular story. So usually they keep it at the end. But to be honest, Jamie started it off with it. And it was actually the first 20 minutes. That's what I watched, the first 20 minutes. I'm going to go back to it, but I had got what I needed pretty much. I like Jamie Foxx as a comedian. I like him more in TV and stand up and maybe movies, but I'm sorry, in TV shows, comedy shows, sketch shows, not so much stand up. But again, we can find a Kiki or a Tickle wherever. I mean, Jamie Foxx is Jamie Foxx. So, with that being said, Jamie Foxx probably tells the whole story about his hospitalization last year in the language that he knows best, comedy. In his new comedy special released on yesterday, the Oscar winner revealed that he suffered a stroke last April. At that time, Fox family had released a since deleted statement that he was receiving care for an undisclosed medical complication. So we had kind of thought maybe a complication is he had something done and something went wrong, but that wasn't the case. From me watching, I'm not going to ruin the special because again, I didn't watch the whole special, but he stated that he had a really bad headache and that the headache got so bad that he asked a friend for an aspirin. But before the friend even gave him an aspirin, he said lights were out. He woke up again pretty much 20 days later. So he had the doctors discovered that he had bleeding on the brain, and he gives a lot of credit to his sister for standing up for him and trying to get him better care and to find out what was really wrong with him. So it was bleeding on the brain, which led to a stroke, which put him in a coma. So okay, so now we understand, and we know that for the African American community, strokes and high blood pressure and those type of things are high on our list. So, I watched what I watched. Like I said, the first 20 minutes, he broke down and cried once. Um, like I said, it's a special, and he spends more time with that in the beginning. So, I mean, by all means, all of us pretty much have Netflix. Go to Netflix, watch it. It's free. Watch it and see what you get out of it. But the one thing, well, you know what? I'm going to tell you this. The one thing that I found really, well, somewhat disturbing for me, because I had seen so many pictures of Jamie Foxx and Puffy together to the point where I felt weird when he started talking about Puffy. And mind you, this whole thing from first minute to 20 minutes where I went, he cracked maybe three jokes about Puffy, stating baby oil and that oh yeah, something about a party, and he of course have attended Puffy's parties, but he left early because he knew what that was going to be, things like that. He left the parties early, and it's weird to me because Puffy had been having these parties for years, okay, years. A lot of people attended these parties, but now that this stuff have come up, the allegations has come up with Puffy, you don't hear anybody standing up. Everyone's making little pot shots and being funny, but these are the same people that we saw pictures of hanging with him, being at his parties, doing things, and it's just weird to me. There's no loyalty, and I think that all money ain't good money. And if you were genuinely my friend, and if you got into some trouble and was accused of some things, if I had no knowledge of that, I have no knowledge of it. That's not the side that I saw of you. And we know that we have friends and people in our lives that show us different sides of us. Certain things you might hear from someone like, I've never saw them do that, or I've never heard them say that. But those are different sides of people you don't get to see. And that's fine. But I just found it weird that they were friends. And he just, like, in the first 20 minutes of his stand-up, he told his story about him being hospitalized and what he was going through. And then in between all of those, he was throwing in jokes about Puffy and making fun of that. So I just thought it was a little weird. The loyalty, the friendships, and I guess there's no honor amongst thieves, allegedly. Well, I came across something else, entertainment-wise, and I wanted to share with you because I don't think that a lot of people know. I'm sure a lot of us remember Mr. Montell Jordan, the singer. This is how we do it. Okay, so no, I'm not Montell Jordan. I'm not a singer, but again, I'm sure we know. Well, Montell Jordan announced to his friends and fans that he had a diagnosis of prostate cancer January of 2024. And we just left Cancer Awareness Month last month, and I would have loved for him to have pushed this out a little earlier instead of yesterday or today, because it would have added a layer of, from African American men and just men that don't listen to certain things when it comes to sickness and cancer, that this would have put a face and said, oh, I remember him. Wow, he got prostate cancer. So, yeah. And I think that we, okay, well, we're going to do this. Singer and songwriter Montell Jordan, is advocating for prostate cancer awareness and emphasizing the importance of early detection, particularly among Black men who faces an increased risk. His effort comes in the wake of his personal experience with the disease. Now, Montell Jordan, known for his hit song This Is How We Do It, was diagnosed with stage 1 prostate cancer in January of 2024. After having another bout with the issue, on November 5th, the doctors discovered additional cancer and upgrading his condition to stage 2. Despite this, Jordan revealed in a recent update that the cancer was fully removed during the surgery. The artist recently celebrated his 56th birthday by spreading prostate cancer awareness. He states, "Today is my birthday. I love you. I'm doing something unthinkable. I need your help. I only have a few simple requests," said Jordan in the video. Listen, this is not a game. Again, we're speaking of Montell Jordan, which I'm sure I'm a person of a particular age. I remember Montell Jordan. I know who he was. He was a big deal at one time, and he's a singer and a songwriter. So the artistry still continues on, even if we don't hear songs from him. He's still continually writing and doing things. And I just want to reach out to my male. Well, I want to reach out to all my subscribers and whoever sees this video. I want the men to look after yourselves a little better. Go get these tests, especially if you're at a certain age. If you're 45 and over, start getting these tests that you've been hearing about for the past 10 years. And it was like, oh, it's not me yet. Well, now it's you. So have yourself checked out, and wives and girlfriends and daughters and sisters, have your brothers, your dads, your husbands, uncles, cousins, push them, have themselves checked out. No one should feel sick and drained every single day. There's a problem. So with that being said, we're going to go to a Cracker Barrel story. Now, I know that in New York, I don't even know if there's any Cracker Barrels. Maybe upstate there are. But here in New Jersey, we have, I think, 2. And I usually go to the one in Mount Olive or something, but it's in New Jersey. But I haven't been to Cracker Barrel since the pandemic, actually. Well, apparently, Cracker Barrel sparked outrage after allegedly refusing to serve a group of special needs children. Okay, so we're going to dive into this a little bit, because I want to tell you what the superintendent of the school had to say. Okay. They said Cracker Barrel is dealing with online criticisms after one of its locations allegedly refused to serve special needs students. According to a statement by Charles County Public School Superintendent Maria V. Navarro, the alleged incident happened at the Cracker Barrel in Waldorf. Okay. So they go on to say a total of 11 students and 7 staff members were at the restaurant as part of the community-based instruction, which is called CBI. The program is to help students practice generalizing skills they are learning in the classroom. They want to show them and test them in the community. You know, teaching them, these are children, I'm not quite sure what their special needs are, but learning to go out in public and be at a restaurant and maybe use utensils, things that we take for granted, okay? The restaurant employee that the staff members spoke to allegedly told them that reservations were not needed, okay? Remember that. However, when the group arrived at the establishment, Navarro claims that they were declined service. The staff members were also asked to no longer include their restaurant as part of the CBI list. The group was able to place a carryout order, Navarro says. The district administrator states the treatment of the students and staff at Cracker Barrel, no one should ever experience. Okay, so not only did they not let them eat there, Um, but they told them to remove their restaurant from the CBI list, meaning, okay, you've come here by mistake, remove our restaurant from your list so that any other programs such as yours would not make the mistake to come here because will no longer be on your list. Well, I don't know. This is absolutely, totally unacceptable, but I have heard stories about Cracker Barrel before. Allegedly. Um, I've been to Cracker Barrel, I can say at least 10 times in my life. Like I said, living here in Jersey, we do have one or two locations. So I have gone and I actually enjoy the food. And what I like about Cracker Barrel the most is they have a general store. You know how back in the day, in the old westerns, they had a general store. When you go into the general store, you always see these rocking chairs. You can buy these types of things, but they have every candy, pretty much, that has ever been made on Earth. Meaning all the old blow pops and oh my God, remember the gums that looked as shredded and we would use acting like it was tobacco back in the baseball days where we would put they have listen, Cracker Barrel was good for that. But back to my story, I'm sorry. So I don't know exactly what's going on. This is what they're saying. I did hear a little bit that Cracker Barrel released an apology. I'll go after that later. But I mean, what's the sense? What are you apologizing? 11 students and 7 staff shows up. Okay? 18 people show up. You can't miss that. And you refuse to serve them. Shame on you. Shame on you. Um, I don't quite know what to do with that, but like I said, there's not that many Cracker Barrels anyway, so there's no need of us boycotting them because most of us don't go there because they're usually when they do have them, they're really far out and yeah, the area is a little. You would think you were down south, put it that way, and I guess that's what the idea is. The type of store and the type of restaurant it is. Their locations remind you of being down south. So I digress, and I'm good. But I don't know. I do want to follow up on this story because I'm very, very interested to see. I'm actually going to read up on what their response was, their apology, and I'll report it in the next video if you guys think it's important. Okay? Okay, so we're going to move on to, oh, this is something interesting. And you know, we know that the assailant and the what is it? I'm sorry, guys. In the UnitedHealthcare CEO assassination has been caught, allegedly. He had the same IDs on him that he had checking in the hotels and different things. So we know those parts. But did you know that there was a lawsuit filed a year before UnitedHealthcare CEO murder, accusing the company of using AI, a computer generated program, to deny 1/3 of claims filed by sick patients, more than any other insurers. Okay, so that might lead you to think of the anger and the things that people are going through. But I have heard that a lot of companies are my company. I've heard when I was in the office, we was hearing about AI. We've had some AI, took some AI classes and stuff like that. It's not perfected. I don't think it's really that trustworthy, but it can mock us. It can make things seem where you used to think your eyes were playing tricks on you, you almost can, and unless you're an expert at it, and that's why these companies are giving classes to their employees so you can kind of spot what it looks like or what to look at to see if something is AI generated or not, which who knows. So, but again, I think that was very interesting that a lawsuit was filed just a year before. So there had clearly been issues. And there's always issues with all these insurance companies and all these pharmaceutical companies. I mean, there's issues. That's just, I think, part of business, I would say. Um, I don't know. Tell me this, guys. Did you hear about Floyd Mayweather in London while he was out shopping? Well, apparently Floyd Mayweather was out in London shopping with some friends and, of course, of this mob of bodyguards he's always with. And Floyd Mayweather gets attacked by anti-Semitic mob over his support for Israel. Okay. Now, I saw the video. They showed video. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw the video. Um, it didn't. It just showed a lot of yelling and a lot of moving. And as far as him being attacked, I don't know if I can actually say that I saw him being attacked. And really, who would attack Floyd Mayweather? And besides that, I've never seen him with less than 5 to 10 bodyguards at any given time. You know what I mean? Well, Floyd Mayweather, a boxing legend who is now enjoying his retirement, was allegedly attacked by an anti-Semitic mob Tuesday because of his pro-Jewish stance and Israel support while he was trying to shop. Mayweather had bodyguards around him, the video show. Well, I'm not going to show the video, but again, we know what it is, and we also know that it means nothing about how much money you have or how many people know who you are and how many people follow you. Um, it's there. It's there. People will find any reason to pretty much get at you and to tell you how they feel. For you to a mob to attack you outside of shopping, it's just ridiculous. But again, um, we'll see how that turns out. Of course, it's just publicity, and no publicity is good publicity. And who knows what? See, my thing is when they show these videos, I need to see an entire video. I don't need to see what you want me to see. I want to see what started it. So we're going to move on. Did you guys see Carlos King interview with Drea Kelly? Drea Kelly, who's the ex-wife of R. Kelly, and she was really a wife, and she had kids by him, I believe 3 kids by him. Well, Drea Kelly speaks out on an abusive relationship with ex R. Kelly and what it took to leave. Everybody gets paid off of our abusers being who they are. Well, okay. Honestly, I like Drea. I think she's a dancing fool. Seriously, she's very small. I think she says she's 5 feet. She weighs 120 pounds, but she's a dancing fool. But besides that, I think that since this R. Kelly thing happened, it has been going on for so many years. Some people like Andrea, some people don't. Some people have the idea that she was there longer than she actually was, meaning they thought that she was there while all of this other stuff was going on. And we're finding out through this interview that she wasn't. She was there in the earlier times. She met him when she was 19 years old, and R. Kelly, I believe, is 27 years old. So that was a thing, but she wasn't thinking that. 19, 27, okay. But what I'll say is she really gets to explain herself and actually go after people that have gone after her with untrue stories. And she explained that she was also being abused. He would lock her in a room he started locking her up because we've heard these stories from other people. I don't quite remember the young lady's name, Sparkle. And that was supposed to have been her niece that was in that video that he urinated on, I believe. So Sparkle had said that when she used to be at the house or at the recording that R. Kelly would lock Andrea up and she would need permission to go to the bathroom. She would need permission to eat. She would, just a bunch of those things. But again, I think that I thoroughly watched the entire interview. I enjoyed it. You really got to hear her side. You really got to clear up all of the lies that you've heard before. She was also a victim, guys, and she explains this. And she left, and it was hard for her to leave, but she also tells the complete story of the day she decided to leave. Carlos even brought up I know that you know that their daughter, R. Kelly and Andrea's daughter, just came out not long ago, and I put it in a previous video that she stated that her father sexually essayed her. Sorry, certain things you can say on Facebook and YouTube and all of these things. So again, he essayed her, and heartbreaking. Andrea went into it slightly. She stated how she felt about it and what she knew about it and when she was told about it, and The daughter, apparently, it happened to her when she was young, very young, and she kept it until she was a teenager. Um, so it's a very interesting story. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I really did. And I say, even if you don't like Andrea Kelly or things you've heard, because we tend to not like people that we don't even know, or we don't like what someone said about them, or the portrait that someone else painted of their person. We go by that. Well, then you get to hear it in her own words, and I was glad that she did it. And Carlos King be doing this thing. Shout out to Carlos King, and shout outs to the Jasmine brand also. Listen, I hope to be as good as they and as big as them one day, but right now I'm happy where I am. I'm happy who I'm with, and I love you guys. Please, guys, stay intentional, be safe, and we will speak soon.